This is the best feature of this month. And what fast copy for on-premise data sources allows you to do is actually copy and replicate that data from your on-prem environment over into your Fabric environment, and at a very quick pace. We're talking about terabytes of data in just a few minutes.
Hey Dennis, welcome back to this month's Fabric Threads.
Thanks, happy to be back.
Well, I love that Microsoft has been listening to their end user feedback and releasing updates each month in response to that feedback. There have been some real gems. I know we're learning a lot about Fabric, and I hope our audience is learning right along with us.
Yeah, there are always tons of great features that the Fabric team rolls out every single month, and today we have just 5.
Well, let's go ahead and hop into those.
Let's do it.
So Dennis, for the first update I'd love for you to tell us more about, let's talk about the general availability for row-level security in Power BI Desktop.
So row-level security, as it says in the title, it allows you to implement your data security inside of your Power BI semantic model at the row level. So if you have specific users or groups within your organization that can see certain subsets of data within a data table, then row-level security allows you to enable that.
And when we talk about enhanced, exactly what are we meaning?
Yeah, so the legacy interface for row-level security was all about writing DAX to be able to filter down your data depending on who is logged into the semantic model at the moment. And that could be who is viewing the data through a visualization or through a specific report that's built on top of that semantic model. And with this new update, it actually has a little bit better graphical interface to allow you to build those security rules within the editor. So it's actually more of a what-if scenario that you can build out inside of that graphical interface rather than having to type DAX out to do that.
So Dennis, it does sound like a cool enhancement. Who's really going to benefit from this feature update?
Mostly your Power BI developers or your administrators. Those are the ones that are actually developing your semantic models and developing the security on top of those. So generally, this feature is more geared towards those users.
Got it. And is this security feature no touch? It's already set up out of the box?
No, it is definitely something you have to configure on every single semantic model that you are developing. So you do have to build those security rules, be knowledgeable of those security rules, and then go ahead and implement those.
Okay, a little upfront work, but then the benefits are really great.
Exactly.
Okay, Dennis, this next one I'm excited to talk to you about. Tell us about the general availability of time travel and 30 days of data retention in Fabric warehouses.
Yeah, so time travel, like you said, it is going generally available. So it's been in public preview for a few months now. And what this allows you to do is actually go back and query the historical data within your Fabric warehouses.
Well, I can tell you, not since Back to the Future I've been so excited to talk about time travel. Tell us what problem this is solving.
Yeah, so whenever you're running your data environment and you're integrating to your source systems, what you're doing is essentially adding the data or modifying the data within your existing Fabric warehouse. And what this feature allows you to do is, based off of those changes, whether they were modified records, deleted records, added records, you can actually go back in the last 30 days and query those historical records. So you can actually see what's been removed, what's been added, and what's been modified within your warehouse.
Does this really help with those oopses when you deleted something you really shouldn't have?
Yes, so it actually allows you to revert back to those historical records if that's what you want to do.
That makes sense. Are there any misconceptions about this update that we should be aware of?
I think the biggest limitation is that it is just 30 days of historical records. So if you're looking for this feature to go and implement it across a more expanded time period, that is currently not available.
I gotcha. So tell me what users can benefit from this protection against those oopses we can all make while we're working.
Yeah, so mostly your data engineers, your data analysts, and your administrators are the ones that will mostly be using this feature because those are the ones that are ensuring your data quality and your data integrity within your environment.
And what about the misconceptions that some folks might have? Anything to be aware of in this time travel experience?
I think the biggest misconception is how much resources that actually takes to go back and query these historical records. So Microsoft and the Fabric team developed this feature to enhance and be implemented within your data environment. And so you really won't see any performance issues with that.
I love it. Sounds more efficient than the flux capacitor. So the next feature I'd love for us to speak about, Dennis, is still in public preview. Tell me how Lakehouse schemas can help you better organize tables.
Yeah, so Lakehouse schemas are exactly like you said. They are there to group tables into an organizational structure. And within organizations, that could be by business unit, department, or even by data source.
So a schema, just to go back to basics, is a map to help you organize your Lakehouse?
Exactly. It's just a organizational method to group your tables together.
So tell me, Dennis, what problem does this feature really address?
So within an organization, you can have any number of tables within a lakehouse. And so it is super important that those tables are grouped into a logical structure. And that's what schemas allows you to do.
And who do we think really benefits from this?
This will mostly benefit your data engineers and your data administrators inside of your lakehouse environment.
It definitely sounds useful. Is this something that needs some upfront setup, or is it good to go out of the box?
No, it's definitely not an out-of-the-box feature. You will have to do some manual setup to create the schemas and then assign the tables to those schemas.
Okay, but it sounds super beneficial to take that time up front to set it up. Would you agree?
Absolutely. I mean, it will be the most widely used feature within a lakehouse.
Oh, awesome. Very cool. So Dennis, the next feature I'd like to talk to you about is a little bit more technical. Can you tell us about the advancement in being able to edit JSON code in data pipelines?
Yeah, so your JSON code, it's really a text format to store and transmit data between systems. And so what this feature allows you to do is actually modify that JSON within a data pipeline inside of Fabric.
Prior to the release of this feature, how were users editing their data pipelines?
So you actually had to use the graphical interface within Data Factory to be able to modify your pipelines. You didn't have access to the backend JSON code.
Got it. And does having access to this code allow you to do more than the graphical interface?
Absolutely. You'll have much more granular access control on top of your Data Factory pipelines.
Sounds like users have a choice now. They can use whatever makes more sense for them and their skill sets, either a graphical interface or the ability to code. Do I have that right?
Exactly. So the Fabric team wants you to use those in tandem with each other.
That's great. How about any misconceptions that folks might have in hearing about this new feature update?
Yeah, so the biggest misconception is that the JSON format is actually going to replace the graphical interface, and that's just not the case. So you had the same functionality within Synapse pipelines and Azure Data Factory, and what this allows you to do is just have more granular access control. So most developers will actually use these features in tandem with each other.
Awesome. So they're better together.
Absolutely.
So the last feature I'd love to discuss with you this month is on-premise support for fast copy. Can you tell me what this is all about?
Yeah, this is the best feature of this month. And what fast copy for on-premise data sources allows you to do is actually copy and replicate that data from your on-prem environment over into your Fabric environment, and at a very quick pace.
Okay, when we say quick or fast, what are we talking about?
We're talking about terabytes of data in just a few minutes.
That's amazing. This sounds like an exciting feature for those users still on-prem. What do you think?
Yeah, a lot of organizations that we work with are fully on-prem still, and this ability actually allows you to take that on-prem data and move it into your Fabric environment very quick and efficiently.
So this all sounds really good. Are there any misconceptions or other things that folks should be aware of when we're thinking about this feature?
I think the biggest misconception with this feature is that it's only for large enterprises. We are actually seeing that this feature is being used across small and medium-sized businesses that want to move into a more Fabric-based environment.
That makes sense to me. All organizations can definitely benefit from saving time and money.
100%, absolutely.
So I have to say, Dennis, I think those were some amazing picks to discuss this month. And I think I see a theme developing, all about how to be better, faster, and more flexible in terms of productivity.
Yeah, and the best part is that the Fabric development team is taking into account users' feedback and then going off and developing those features.
Well, we love that Microsoft listens to their user feedback. We'd love to hear from you too. Please drop us a comment and let us know what feature was most exciting for you to hear about. And please continue to join Dennis and I each month as we unravel the Fabric mystery with you. Thank you. See you next time.
Bye.